It's game number 2 of this double dip here on this Saturday afternoon in Oxford. Miami and Akron next on Chatterbox Live. We bid you good afternoon once more. Along with my producer, Sean Spurlock, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us. It's Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. Game number 2 set to unfold here in mere minutes. In game number 1, it was Miami behind a 6-hitter by Bree Pratt, who shut out Akron in the first game of this double dip, 3-0. We saw home runs by Allie Cummins in that ball game, as well as the team's leading home run hitter in Carly Spade. She had a 2-run shot that punctuated a home first, a 3-run home first, and that's all they needed. Pratt took them the distance after that. In game number 2 of this double dip, we'll see Lorelei Depew, Lorelei Depew will take the hill. She's a sophomore, a right-hander at 5'9" out of Richmond, Indiana. She'll take the circle in the second one here. And as we take a look, we're looking for the starter here for Akron, and the Akron starter will be Haley Croyle. I believe she's the ace on that team. 5'7", a freshman out of Hubbard. She's got a team best 2.37 earned run average and an 11-6 record here for Akron. So they're trying to look for a split here in this first one, and if they can get that one, then it'll be up to whoever wins the rubber game tomorrow. That'll be the wrap-up of this 3-game series here in Oxford. So Croyle to oppose Depew, as we saw both head coaches come out to home plate and greet one another for the second one. Craig Nicholson in his first year with Akron. Akron comes into this second game of the doubleheader, 25-18. And Corinne Kumar in her third year, 111, 43-1. Let's give you the starting lineups here in this ball game. They are much the same if you joined us here for the first game in this doubleheader. Leading off for Akron is the second baseman, Brooke Civic. Batting second and in right field, Molly McChesney. The third place hitter is Megan Lee. The cleanup hitter is the third baseman, Alexis Campbell. The designated player is Laurel DeVoe. The catcher here in the second game is Abby Scheller. The shortstop, Jaden Bryant, will bat seventh. She's the shortstop. The center fielder is Tiffany Stevens, batting eighth. And batting ninth is the first baseman, Madison Dudek. Once more, it's Civic, McChesney, Lee in the top third, Campbell, DeVoe, Scheller in the middle third, Bryant, Stevens, and Dudek to round out the Akron lineup. For Miami, the right fielder, Allie Cummins, will lead things off, followed by the second place hitter, the first baseman, Holly Blaska. Batting third and at third base, Carly Spade. The cleanup hitter is the second baseman, Chloe Parks. The catcher is Riley Coyne. She'll bat fifth. The designated player will bat sixth, and Shelby Kunkel. The center fielder, Jenna Golombeski, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and at shortstop, Adriana Barlow. And batting ninth is the left fielder, Maddie Banks. Once more, it's Cummins, Blaska, Spade in the top third. Parks, Coyne, Kunkel in the middle. And Golombeski, Barlow, and Banks to wrap up the lineup. A little bit more of the particulars here on today's starting pitchers. Haley Croyle, as we had mentioned initially, a 2.37 earned run average. She's making her 27th appearance, her 18th start. She has completed 11 games, tossed 3 shutouts and saved 3 games, 121 and a third innings. She's only given up 88 base hits, 49 runs, 41 of which have been earned, 34 walks, and 109 strikeouts. She's opposed by Lorelei Depew at 5'9", a sophomore out of Richmond, Indiana. 3-3 is her record. She's making her 12th appearance and her 8th start as we're set to get underway. And the first pitch is off the plate for ball one, and away we go here in Oxford. It's Brooke Civic, lefty batter at the plate. checked her swing, and there's a strike. The home plate umpire today is Michael Young here in the second game. Paul Williams is at first base, and Lou Davis at third base. 1-1. First pitch at 3:10 this afternoon. And it's back to the pitcher. Depew on over to first for the game's first out.
The right fielder, Molly McChesney.
To wrap up the statistical line on Depew, you'd mentioned a 6.26 earned run average, 3-3 her record, making her 12th appearance, her 8th start. She's completed 2 games, has 1 shutout, 34 2/3 innings, has given up 51 hits, 35 runs, 31 of which have been earned, 17 walks, and 14 strikeouts. Ball 1 to the second place hitter. Molly McChesney at the plate. Molly was 2 for 3 in the last effort here just earlier this afternoon. 1-0. This one spotted out on the corner, and there's a strike. And what a difference we've seen between the two plate umpires today. That corner out to our left. Lou Davis did not call that for a strike in the first game, but we're seeing that for strikes already here early on from Michael Young. 1-1. Outside, downstairs a bit, 2-1. McChesney to be followed by Megan Lee. And should anyone get on, it'll be Alexis Campbell. Depew rocks to the wind, and the throw across by the shortstop in time for the second out. Let's give you the starting defense here. It's Maddie Banks in left, Jenna Golembeski in center. The right fielder is Allie Cummins. Carly Spade at third, Adriana Barlow, the shortstop. Chloe Parks at second, Holly Blaska at first. Riley Coyne catching today's second pitcher in this one, Lorelei Depew. Strike 1 here to the third place hitter, Megan Lee. Megan was 1 for 3 in the first game of this doubleheader this afternoon, and this one caught the corner. A little bit of a delayed call at home plate by Michael Young, and it's 0-2. Now, as I understand it, the delayed call is a little bit more profound and accepted in softball as opposed to baseball. We saw that in the high school playoffs a year ago. Popped up right in front of home plate, and this one moving back into foul territory. So it took a healthy backspin right in front of the plate, and instead of a base hit for Megan Lee, she'll have to come back and work an 0-2 count. Here's the 2-strike pitch, outside, ball 1. Not exactly what I'd call a waste pitch on Lee, but they are targeting that corner here at least to start off this ball game. Should Lee get on, it'll be Alexis Campbell. No score, just getting started here in Oxford. Game time temperature at 54 degrees. We had some sprinkles here in the area. This one stays outside, deuce. Winds at 11 miles per hour, a little less gusty than to start things off in the first game. We are overcast here to start things off, as opposed to partly sunny in the first game. 2-2. And a bit off the plate outside. Coyne will step out in front of the plate, get a message communicated to Depew. Here's the payoff to Lee coming up. Out to the second base, and it's an infield base hit. Chloe Parks ranging to her right. was almost behind second base by the time she got up to it, but Lee has some wheels on her, and by the time Parks looked up, Lee was straddling along first base. So an infield base hit, and that's the game that Akron does play. They play small ball. They don't look for the long ball. Runner fakes to go, and it's ball one. Alexis Campbell at the plate, 305 hitter, 3 home runs, 30 runs batted in. She was 1 for 3 in the first game of this doubleheader this afternoon. And this one down to Spade. The easy throw across, and that's the end of the top of the first. We go to the bottom half. It's Akron nothing, and Miami coming up here on Love and Honor Live. We go to the home half of the first inning here in Oxford. No score to get things started. Allie Cummins to be followed by Holly Blaska and Carly Spade. As they'll face Haley Croyle, the ace of this team, just a freshman.
First for the RedHawks, number 23, the right fielder, Allie Cummins.
She's got a 2.37 earned run average. As we had mentioned before, 11-6 is her record. The most impressive part of her game right now may be her whip, 1.01. So basically, she's only giving up 1 base runner per inning. Cummins homered in the first game, leading off, and that turned out to be the decisive run of this ball game, and it's a called strike. Right over the heart of the plate, so says Michael Young, 0-1. Cummins to be followed by Holly Blaska and Carly Spade. Foul back to the screen, and just like that, Cummins is down, 0-2. Full protective face mask. I know that given what we're seeing and what you're seeing on the screen for Haley Croyle, a little bit of a waste pitch outside, 1-2. Reiser stayed upstairs. Not quite chin music, but something to think about for Allie Cummins. And we even up 2-2. This one lifted in a deep right center field. Back and away, back goodbye! 1-0 Miami. Cummins with her 15th of the year, and she does it in back-to-back games. Mercy. On a 2-2 pitch out over the plate, and she got it into the wind tunnel up in right center. That's where the wind's been blowing out steadily this afternoon, and it's 1-0 Miami just like that. It's deja vu all over again. Holly Blaska takes a called strike. Blaska came around to score back in that first inning off a walk, and she swings through about a half foot late, and just like that, she's down 0-2. Holly's a .356 hitter this year. Team leader in doubles with 10. She's got 6 home runs and 34 runs batted in, 1-2 on the last miss at the plate. And this one, back to the screen, we do it all over again. Something to note, Haley Croyle moving a lot faster, a lot more deliberately once she gets the ball back than the game's first pitcher, or the first pitcher in this doubleheader, Alexa DeFeo. And it's outside, deuce. And this one pulled into right field, and a nice running grab by Molly McChesney for the first out. Played that one well towards the line. She was handcuffed on a similar ball back in the first game, back into the corner. Played that corner very well, right in front of the All-American namesake of Carly Spade, who's coming to plate. Carly with a wide-open stance, and she awaits. The fastball rises away, 1-0. Had a 2-run shot to cap off the scoring in the ball game in the first inning of the first game. Big swing and a miss. And she wanted to duplicate that home run effort. Came up empty, and we're even up. Foul back. 1-2. Spade and Cummins are now tied for the team lead with 15 bombs this year. Spade, an All-American, arguably one of the 50 best players in Division I softball, and this one rides away. Deuce. Third-team All-American a year ago. The first player in Miami softball history to get All-American mention as she checks her swing well in time, and we go full. First team NFCA All-Region, first team MAC, as you would imagine. 413 hitter a year ago with 28 home runs. A little off replace this year as this one skied high, a pop-up behind home plate, and out of play. And we will do it again. The defense, Megan Lee in left, Tiffany Stevens in center, Molly McChesney in right. Alexis Campbell's at third, Jaden Bryan at shortstop, Brooke Civic at second, Madison Dudek at first, Abigail Scheller catching Haley Croyle. Here's the payoff. The long look in by Croyle, and it's a high fly in the deep right field. Back and away, back goodbye! 2-0 Miami. Number 16 for Carly Spade and Mercy. It was off the roof of the clubhouse out in right, just to the right of the scoreboard. And Miami's got a pair here in the first. I mean, that was an absolute rocket out of here. No doubt about it. You know, I know they're teammates, but it almost feels like between game 1 and 2, Cummins and Spade have a little bit of whatever you can do, I can do better. Foul back to the screen, 0-1 for Chloe Parks. Mercy, what a shot. Whoa! Up and in. Buzzed the tower of Parks, got her on the helmet, and she's a base runner.
The catcher, Riley Coyle.
So still just one out here in the home first. Miami up by a pair. And the fifth place hitter and Riley Coyne comes up to the plate, 298 hitter. 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Runner fakes the go. And it's ball 1 on a pitch down and in. While Croyle has a little bit more of a faster delivery and a time called initially by Coyne as she waits to step in. And a high fly in the deep center field, back-to-back. It's home run derby, a 2-run shot this time, as Coyne makes the tour 4-0 Miami. So Park scores in front. Coyne gets her 8th of the year, her 29th and 30th runs batted in, 3 bombs, and we see a conference call by Craig Nicholson, the head coach, coming on out. So Croyle has got a little bit more of a faster delivery as far as once she gets the ball, she gets what she wants, and then she'll deliver to home plate. That hasn't really helped her so far in the home first inning here in Oxford. 3 home runs here in this ball game. She's already thrown 22 pitches and has only recorded 1 out. The home run tally keeps on moving up for Miami. They had 62 coming into this doubleheader. They've now hit 5. And this one a fly ball, a little bit more routine in the center. And Tiffany Stevens retires Shelby Kunkel for the second out.
The center fielder, Jenna Golombeski.
Jenna Golombeski is the 2-out hitter. Jenna was 1 for 3 in the first game, and the fastball rides up high, 1-0. 24 pitches now for Haley Croyle. Miami trying to make a statement. Checked her swing, couldn't hold up. We even up. Two and 1 to Golombeski. Should she reach, it'll be Adriana Barlow. So a big crooked number for Miami to get this game started, and that's all they needed back in the first game. They got 3 in the first game in the first inning, foul back to the screen. And while you can sense that they want a little bit more, I think given that they've been handcuffed offensively in the last few games, you look back to the Miami Invitational, they only scored a couple of times, 2 runs in 2 games to close out that Invitational. They had 3 here in this first game, and this one comes inside. And we go full on Golombeski. We saw Alexis DeFeo have similar problems back in the first game. She threw 27 pitches in the first frame of that first game. Right now, this will be pitch number 29. Swing and a miss. And that's a side, but big flies by Cummins, Spade, and Coyne punctuate the first, and we've got a brand new score here in Oxford, 4-0. It's Love and Honor Live. For nothing here in Oxford as the skies have opened up. We've got a healthy shower coming as Craig Nicholson is moving over to the third base dugout. He had a word momentarily with Michael Young, the home plate umpire. Don't know if this will be quickly passing or not. Right now, if you're Miami, you want this one to come and go as fast as possible given the 4-run lead. So 4-0 lead. The long ball has been a factor here this afternoon. Allie Cummins in back-to-back games leading off with home runs. Carly Spade has followed suit with home runs in each of the first 2 games of this series. And Riley Coyne with a 2-run shot after Chloe Parks had got hit by a pitch. Scored, and that's where we're at 4-0. And the first pitch caught the corner for a strike to Laurel DeVoe. Depew has a 4-run lead to work with, and here's the 0-1, and a little wrinkle pitch, caught the plate, nice pitch, 0-2. DeVoe to be followed by Abby Scheller and Jaden Bryant. 2-strike offering, checked her swing, no swing on the appeal down to first base umpire Paul Williams, 1-2. Did it catch the corner? No, it did not. We were all waiting for Michael Young to raise the fist. He didn't. 2-2. Time called as the ball got away from the on-deck circle. Again, as we mentioned, home runs have punctuated this doubleheader so far. We're only an inning deep here into the second game. Fouled towards the third base dugout. We'll do it again. Initially, there wasn't supposed to be rain, or there wasn't supposed to be a great likelihood of rain today. I think after yesterday's deluge, we thought things cleared out, and there was about a 20% chance coming in to this one that we'd have showers. And guess what? Mother Nature has beaten the odds. And it's a ground ball to short, and underneath the glove of the shortstop, Barlow. That's a second base hit for the Zips. And the leadoff hitter here in the second reaches. If you're Akron, you got to realize that it's still early and you can claw back into this ball game. The harder part about playing small ball the way they do is when you try to put the ball in play, especially on bunt plays, you're trying to advance runners by also taking outs. You're not really in a great spot down by 4 already to do that. 1-0. Abby Scheller at the plate. She waits. And the rise ball stays up and away. 2-0. Three and 0. We'll see if Scheller has the green light. 250 hitter on the season. Team's leading home run hitter with 4 to go along with 25 runs batted in. A little conference call on the hill. In the circle, beg your pardon. Riley Coyne coming out to settle down Depew. Who's got the lead, a 4-run lead, right? Sometimes it should be as easy as throw strikes when you have a lead, especially early in a ball game. But when you have a young pitcher in the circle, you got to make sure that message is being communicated and that outs are right now as valuable as anything. 3-0. The get me over got over, 3-1. Infield looking for 2. Barlow goes a short route, and the forced play knocks DeVoe off the base pass. 6-4 on the outplay, and there's one away.
The shortstop, Jaden Bryant.
Jaden Bryant is the one-out hitter, 250 hitter. 19 runs batted in on the season, slightly open stance as she takes on the outer half, out on the corner. So says Michael Young at home plate, 0-1. Again, infield looking for 2. Double plays are incredibly hard to acquire in college softball, especially at this level, right? The bases are close together, and that's just the nature of softball as it is. But you also have fast base runners on the pads, and on contact plays, you have runners who are already halfway to the next base. It's very hard to get double plays. 0-2. Waste pitch stays outside, 1-2. Lorelei Depew has already thrown 26 pitches in this ball game, and out deep here in the second. And a line shot for Golembeski. One step to her right, and she records a second out.
The center fielder, Tiffany Stevens.
Tiffany Stevens is the 2-out hitter, 5'9" junior. Bats him as she throws him. Center fielder steps in. 230 hitter on the season, 19 runs batted in, fouled away, strike 1. Should Stevens reach, it'll be the 9-hole hitter in Madison Dudek. 4-0 Miami on the strength of 3 home runs. Down and in. Michael Young says no, not a strike, and we even up. So about 5 minutes ago, we had the onset of showers. It seems to have eased up and abated a little bit. High chop to the third baseman, and a nice grab by the first baseman, Holly Blaska, and the side's retired. We head to the home half of the second inning, 4-0 Miami. It's Love and Honor Live. Three home runs so far in this one have punctuated this one. And so far in this doubleheader, 5 home runs for the RedHawks as they up their tally, their season-high tally, to 67 home runs, well ahead of everybody in the conference. And it's ball one outside to Adriana Barlow. 8-9-1 here in the home second. Barlow, Banks, and back to the top in Allie Cummins. Stays away, 2-0. Coming into this doubleheader, the Ohio Bobcats had the conference lead in conference wins, and this one skied a high pop-up on the infield, and the second baseman, Brooke Civic, gets the first out here of the home second.
The left fielder, Maddie Banks.
So on a 2-0 pitch, Haley Croyle was able to get a pop-up on the infield on a pitch that was well over the plate. And she'll go to the 9-hole, and this one fouled at the plate. Maddie Banks, 0-1. Maddie accounted for the only score of the Oklahoma game as far as the RedHawks were concerned. She had a second-inning home run in that contest. Infield playing straight up, 0-1. Down to first. Easy play as Dudek will take it to the bag herself, and that's a second out here of this home second.
The right fielder, Allie Cummins.
So For the second time in as many innings, here comes Cummins. Allie homered to lead off the ball game for the second straight game, and the pitch to her. Croyle took a little something off that first pitch, but it's outside, ball 1. This one rides inside, missing high, 2-0. So a good hitter's count for Cummins, and we'll see if she gets the green light here on 2-0. Three and 0, so nothing doing there. On 3 straight out of the zone, and you can't help but not be surprised to understand that Croyle wants to stay away from the power zone, and that one is out of the zone, 4 straight outside, and Cummins is a base runner.
The first baseman, Holly Blaska.
Blaska 0 for 1, flew out to right on a nice running grab by Molly McChesney out towards the line in deep right. Called strike. Got the corner, so says Michael Young, 0-1. Blaska, as we mentioned, team leader in batting average in the 2-hole. We've seen her in the 5 or 6 hole earlier in the season, and a line shot into right field, and he'll find the gap. Here's Cummins around second to third. She's headed to the plate. Here's the throw home, nowhere in time. 5-0 Miami. On a double to right by Holly Blaska. So Blaska gets her 11th double, her 35th run batted in.
The third baseman, Carly Spade.
So Spade comes up. She homered on a full count pitch into the jet stream over the clubhouse in right. I mean, it was a massive shot right of the scoreboard. And the pitch, and she wanted the downs on that one, comes up empty, 0-1. This one outside. Will they walk her intentionally? It looks like it. Abigail Scheller is standing up, and they will let her on by the free pass. This is a strange strategy. The first pitch was a strike in this sequence, so why do you throw 4 straight out of the zone? Three and 1. And there's ball 4. So 2 on, a runner in here in the home second, and Miami's got another opportunity for a crooked number.
The second baseman, Chloe Parks.
So here comes Parks, hit by a pitch in the first inning, and came around to score on Coyne's 2-run bomb to center. And this one off the glove of the catcher, and everybody moves up. On a pass ball, Blaska goes to third, and Spade goes to second. This will be pitch number 46 for Haley Croyle. And a high fly into center field. Back and away, back and just missing a 3-run home run. Caught at the wall by Stevens, but a run crosses, and we've got a brand new score here in Oxford. 5-0 RedHawks on Love and Honor Live. It's been a good double dip so far for the RedHawks. They got a 6-hit shutout from Bree Pratt back in game number 1, and so far it's 2 scoreless for Lorelei Depew. So she's on for her 3rd inning of work. She's thrown 30 pitches so far. And again, you got to emphasize to a young pitcher, throw strikes. Off the plate to the 9-hole hitter, Madison Dudek, 1-0. It's Dudek followed by the top of the lineup, then Brooke Civic and Molly McChesney. Fouled at the plate. Again, the dichotomy between these two teams. Miami filled with power offensively. Akron has won their games largely on really some outstanding pitching and defense. A little change of pace downstairs, 2-1. Coming into this doubleheader, Akron had a .290 earned run average as a team. That's the best in the conference, about .07 points ahead of Central Michigan. And this one rides downstairs a bit, 3-1. A little ankle biter missing. See if Dudek gets the green light on 3-1. Slightly open stance. And it caught the corner, and we go full. Still see a few raindrops, it looks, here in Oxford, but the showers that we experienced an inning ago seems to have abated. Payoff. Down to third and foul. The series, by the way, has been largely in favor of Miami between these two schools as we await the payoff. Fouled at the plate, will do it again. The last time these two teams met, it was on April 30th in Akron, prior to this doubleheader. Miami won that game in 6 innings, 15-5. Courtney Veerstra, who's now the RedHawks pitching coach, got the win in that game and also recorded her 1,000th strikeout. Ball 4. So the leadoff hitter is on here in the visiting third.
The second baseman, Brooke Civic.
Now, we mentioned that the series has really been lopsided in favor of the RedHawks, including the first game of this doubleheader. Miami has now won the last 13 matchups in this series, dating back to April 28th, 2018. We're talking 5 years without a win for Akron in this series. Bunt shown right in front of the plate, picked up by the catcher. No throw and an infield base hit for Civic.
The right fielder, Molly McChesney.
Third base hit of the ball game, and the first two are on, and Akron's got their rally caps on. If you go back to March 24th, 2002, we're talking 21 years ago. And I'm looking here in this press box. There are people here that weren't alive in 2002. Miami owns a 33-15 series advantage. 1-0. Not you, Spur, right? Chesney. Try to roll up. Try to think about a bunting in that situation to advance the runners. Nothing doing. There's a strike. 1-1. Well, it's still early. Right now, it's early enough for Akron to come back. Bunt shown at the plate, fouled back to the screen, 1-2. I'm thinking back to 2002, and I'm thinking back, like I said, there's a lot of people here in this press box that weren't around at this point. I was still in my 30s, I believe, at that point. So I I don't know if that makes me the old man here in this booth, but I do feel my age right this second. 5-0's your score here in Oxford. Miami has scored in their first 2 plate appearances here in this ball game. Ground ball. Over to first, not in time. And the bases are loaded. Barlow got it on the run, but it was a slow runner, stuck in the dirt, and by the time she was able to get it to first, McChesney was able to reach. We had mentioned Courtney Veerstra just a few moments ago. She's now out in the circle, the pitching coach, talking with the young hurler along with Riley Coyne. And the bases are loaded. Nobody out here in the visiting third inning. No runs, 4 base hits so far for visiting Akron. 5 runs on 4 base hits for Miami. And wouldn't you know it, Mother Nature decides that she wants to smile on us here for a moment. Infield in. Megan Lee, the 3-hole hitter in this lineup, got a base hit on a full count pitch in the first. Found the corner on the outside, strike 1. You hear the cries of you're good from the Miami dugout, and just trying to give young Lorelei Depew some encouragement. Down the third. Spade throws home for 1, and that's all they'll get. So 5-2 on the outplay, and a great job by Spade to choke off the run.
The third baseman, Alexis Campbell.
Everybody else moves up a base. So it's Civic at third, McChesney at second, and Lee over at first. Ball 1. Alexis Campbell at the plate. Open stance for the cleanup hitter. And this one, find the plate? No, it didn't. It missed low off the plate to the right, and it's 2-0. All right, now, if you're Depew, you got to remember you have 5 runs to work with. And while you don't want to give up runs, the whole point is you want to make sure that you keep getting outs to keep getting this game to a position where you can win it. 3-0 on a pitch missing down. 47 pitches in the book for Lorelei Depew. And a big 3-0 here coming up. There's a called strike, 3-1. Campbell waits. Depew gets the sign, and this one on the ground to second for 1, and no throw, and this run crosses 5-1. So the outplay goes 6-4 as Civic scores the first run of this doubleheader for Akron, gets them on the board for the first time. McChesney goes over to third. Lee is taken off the base pass on the fielder's choice. And with 1 out, it's DeVoe coming to the plate. Called strike. DeVoe got a hit. Was taken off the base paths, leading off the second. 1-for-1. This one misses. And on those 50-50 pitches, we're holding our breaths a little bit, just waiting for Michael Young to call balls and strikes, and that one missing, 1-1. 51st pitch of the ball game for Depew, and this one on the ground. Grabbed by Parks to throw out the base runner, DeVoe, and there's a side. But a run crosses for the first time for Akron here this afternoon, and we got a brand new score here in Oxford, 5-1 Miami, here on Love and Honor Live. (5-1) as Miami will go to work here in their home third. Riley Coyne, who homered to close out the scoring in the first, will lead things off, followed by Shelby Kunkel and Jenna Golembeski. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Miami. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors for visiting Akron. And Croyle goes to work, missing outside, ball 1. Coyne's shot back in the first inning was a straightaway center field shot. And a line shot in the left field, base hit. I mean, she has hit the ball hard here in this second game.
The designated player, Shelby Kunkel.
So Coyne's second hit, 5 hits now for Miami. And the leadoff hitter is on here in this third. Shelby Kunkel will step in, flew out to center. Back in the first inning, strike 1. Infield looking for 2, but the third baseman, Alexis Campbell, about 4, almost 5 steps in down the line off third. Popped up on the infield, the first baseman calls for it, and there's the first out.
Center fielder, Jenna Golembeski.
Golembeski 0 for 1 here. Coming to the plate with 1 out. Fouls this one down the line. Strike 1. Golembeski had an outstanding throw to preserve the shutout. I believe it was the 5th inning of the first game of this doubleheader. An 8-2 throw out at home from center field, giving Bree Pratt her 7th shutout of the season. Long step out by Golembeski, which feels a little weird when you see players step out now. Swing and a miss. She was going for the downs. Nothing in 2. And we say that only if you're watching Major League Baseball these days. I think the pitch clock has really changed the way we look at the game. And you just don't see as many step-outs here through the first few weeks of the season. And you can't help but think about it that trickles down, whether consciously or not, absent a clock even, at other levels in batted ball type games. Pitch number 54 for Haley Croyle coming up. As she has to turn inside, and the count evens. Golembeski to be fouled by Adriana Barlow. 5-1 here in Oxford. Way outside, and we go full. So after the first 2 strikes, the last 3 out of the zone. And we have yet to see Haley Croyle look comfortable in the circle. And a high fly in the deep left field. Goodbye! 7-1. Golombeski logs on for a 2-run shot. Mercy.
Fans that home run over the left field wall by Jenna Golombeski was a left field pattern home run. Another lucky fan will receive a gift card for left field pattern.
Fourth home run of this second game of this doubleheader on a pitch up, and that was no doubt about it. I mean, the uppercut and the finish. I mean, the only thing that was missing was a longer glance at the home run. Well above the pole, out there and left. A towering shot as Golombeski hits her 11th of the year. And we'll have a new pitcher out on the hill. Beg your pardon, out in the circle. It's number 30. Olivia Stefanoni, who is 5'9", a junior, a lefty, out of Hudson, Ohio. A .350 earned run average, 1-0 is her record. She's making her 7th appearance. She's had 2 starts in her season. 14 innings pitched, 19 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned, 10 walks, 7 strikeouts, and opponents are batting .317 against her.
The shortstop, Adriana Barlow.
So Stefanoni is the new hurler. You'd seen right-handers, and now the lefty out in the circle, and this one away off the plate, ball 1. So today's starting pitcher, Croyle, is done after 2 1/3 innings. Down and in, 2-0, and Miami offensively smelling blood after being stymied really offensively the last few games. Up the middle, base hit. Got a pitch right over the inner half and just took it right back up to that empty space, through the empty space, out by the second base bag. The 7th base hit of the ball game for Miami. So here comes Maddie Banks. Downstairs, ball 1. 6 home runs, by the way, hit by Miami through 11 innings and change. Beg your pardon, 9 innings and change. Seven innings the last game, and now we're in the 3rd inning here. 2-0. Only 1 out here in the 3rd inning. And barring a double play, Allie Cummins is going to get her 3rd plate appearance in 3 innings. Strike. Two 2-1. Bunt shown. Foul back to the screen, and we even up. Home run derby in Oxford. Nothing quite like it today. 2-2. And a fly ball lofted in the left, shallow and very playable for Megan Lee.
The right fielder, Allie Cummins.
So Stefanoni records her first pitching out here of this frame. And we go back to the top of the lineup and Allie Cummins. A home run and a walk, 1 for 1. Stefanoni deals. And the heater missing outside, ball one. And unlike the first game, her home run in the first will not account for the winning score. That's what happened back in game number one. And a little change of pace downstairs, 2-0. Miami won that first game 3-0 right now. 7-1's your score here in game number two. Foul back to the screen. Miami looking for another crooked number. Well, guess what? They already have another crooked number. 2 up on the board. They've scored in every inning so far. Two and one. Stefanoni deals. Change. Caught the plate. And we did note early on that Michael Young is a little bit more prone to call that inside strike. 2-2. The deuces are wild. Got her looking. Inning over. But one big swing off the bat by Jenna Golembeski, and we have a brand new score here in Oxford. 7-1. RedHawks with the lead. To the fourth inning we go, 7-1. Akron pushed across a run back in the third. Miami answered back with a 2-run shot by Jenna Golembeski, her 11th of the year in the bottom of the frame, and that's where we're at right now, 7-1. And the first pitch to Scheller, beg your pardon, is a called strike. 6, 7, and 8 to start things off here in the visiting fourth. Took something off of that one, outside. And a fly ball down the left field line, a little flare that'll drop in for a base hit. So Scheller gets aboard for the second time this afternoon, or in this second ball game. This time with a hit. And Jaden Bryant will try to carry things on. And we have yet another conference call. Looks like we have a pinch runner over at first base. Carly Otten at 5'10", a junior, an infielder from Pickerington. She got on the base paths in the last game as well. So obviously speed on the base paths. And they really need to create something right now. Down by 6 here in the middle innings. And a little flare into right field, but caught by Cummins. The throw back to first. Not in time. So the call over at first by the umpire there, Paul Williams, is safe by the base runner, Otten. But a good play by Cummins to get the quick throw off after recording the out. And now we have head coach Corinne Kumar coming out. She wants to talk things over, and I think that might be the polite way to say it. But she clearly got her point across because she's not belaboring this point. She had a heated conversation back in the first game with Lou Davis, who was the home plate umpire in that ball game, on a strikeout call in the early innings. But this one, no problem here.
The center fielder, Tiffany Stevens.
And we've got one down here in this frame. The 8-hole hitter, Tiffany Stevens, to the plate. Grounded out to third to close things out in the second. And speaking of to third, they call it the hot corner for a reason. Mercy. An outstanding catch by the third baseman, Carly Spade. You can hang a star on that one. Spade has put on a clinic today. Between the first game and the second game, she's hit a couple of home runs, stolen a base, and just turned up a gem here defensively just now. Ball 1 to Madison Dudek. Should Dudek reach, it'll be Civic back at the top of the lineup, and it's 2-0. It's in play. The shortstop mishandles it. Barlow will have to eat it. So that's an error on the shortstop, Adriana Barlow. And there are 2 on.
The second baseman, Brooke Civic.
Soughton goes over to second. Spade at third, creeping in, fouled away, strike 1. Brooke Civic, a freshman, came around and scored Akron's only run so far in this doubleheader. Back in the third inning, 1 for 2. This will be pitch number 60 for Depew. And in the left field, base hit. The throw will come in the second, and Outen scores the second run for Akron, and we got a brand new score, 7-2.
The right fielder, Molly McChesney.
So a clean base hit. That's hit number 6 for Akron. Dudek moves over to second. Civic's at first. And a strike to McChesney, who got a hit back in the third, was left stranded there, 1 for 2. Over for Spade. The easy throw over to first, and that's a side. But a run crosses. And we got a brand new score here in Oxford. 7-2 RedHawks. It's Love and Honor Live. Two, 3, and 4 here in the home fourth for Miami. Up by 5 runs, 7-2. Thanks for joining us here on Love and Honor Live. Here are presented by Chatterbox Sports. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and a follow, and we'll keep you up on everything that we've got going on. And a line shot, glove by the second baseman, Civic with a web gem.
The third baseman, Carly Spade.
An absolute rocket. I think that ball caught Civic more than she caught that ball, 1 out. Here's Spade. Ball 1. She's seen 5 straight balls so far. She'd go back to the intentional walk that she had back in the second. She had a solo shot back in the first, 1 for 1. And a little excuse me swing down the third, and she's retired for the first time here in the second game.
The second baseman, Chloe Parks.
Chloe Parks is the 2-out hitter. The lefty deals, and a swing through by Parks, 0-1. Stefanoni on for her second inning of work. And a little flare in the left field, down the line for a base hit. Parks thought about 2 for a second, and she'll hold fast at first. 8th base hit of the ball game for Miami. So after 2 quick outs for Olivia Stefanoni, she'll go to work now after the base hit by Parks into left on Riley Coyne, who homered to punctuate the scoring, all the scoring back in the first, a 2-run shot, and one right back up the middle. Glove by Civic, who throws on the first, and that's a quick inning here in the fourth for Akron as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Miami holds a 7-2 lead on Love and Honor Live. Seven to 2 here in Oxford. Miami trying to get a doubleheader sweep here on this Saturday. Won it the first game 3-0 behind Bree Pratt's 6-hitter. And the home run ball has been omnipresent, if you will. A couple of bombs in the first game, 4 more by Miami here in the second. Though the scoring has really come here in both games in their early innings. And I don't want to say that the swing fuel has run out in the middle to late innings, but when that's all you need, I guess that's all you get. The first pitch to the 3-hole hitter, Megan Lee, and she drops a perfect bunt right in front of the plate for an infield base hit.
The third baseman, Alexis Campbell.
7th hit of the ball game for Akron. As they're trying to come back, pile up some runs. They've scored single runs in the 3rd and 4th innings, but Miami has gotten a couple of crooked scores up on the board. 4 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 more in the 3rd, and that's where we're at, 7-2. Strike 1 to Alexis Campbell. And this one rides, finds the corner on a nice breaking pitch to the outside. Nice break to it, 0-2. To the shortstop, Barlow, the flip, the throw over to first, not in time, and it's off the glove of Blaska anyways. So 6-4 on the force play that knocks Lee off the base pass, and Alexis Campbell is now a base runner.
The designated player, Laurel DeVoe.
Here's DeVoe, 1 for 2 here this afternoon or here in the second game. Off the plate, just missing, 1-0. Mother Nature's been playing a little peekaboo with us here this afternoon. Overcast conditions and now sunny right directly over the softball stadium. Here's the 1-0. Just missed the corner. 2-0 coming up. Infield looking for 2. And there's a called strike right at the knees. Outfield playing DeVoe slightly to pull. Going Besky in center, just slightly left of the emblem. And this one to second. The flip to the shortstop, 1, and the first, that's a double play. 4-6-3, Parks, Barlow, then to Blaska, and the side's retired. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 7-2 Miami on Love and Honor Live. Six, 7, and 8 here in the bottom half of the 5th coming up. 7-2 Miami with the lead. Kunkel 0 for 2. Fly out and a pop-up. And this one right side, top of the strike zone for a strike. The next offering, outside, down and away, 1-1. This one caught the inner half, 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Kunkel's down on strikes.
The center fielder, Jenna Golombesky.
So here's Golombesky, whose shot her last time up 2 innings ago may still be flying. A rocket in the left, a towering shot for her 11th of the year. She wanted another. Strike 1. And Stefanoni might have found a little bit of a groove after coming on in a couple innings ago. She got a scoreless inning in the last frame and now looking for another. 1 out deep here in the home 5th. Little change of pace. Found the inner half. 0-2. Golombesky to be fouled by Barlow. Infield straight up. Megan Lee in left right now is a couple steps away from the warning track. And this one rides high, a little bit of a waste pitch, 1-2. Akron pitching so far in the second game has thrown 82 pitches. This one rides high. Good eye, good patience. That one almost had 50-50 written over it. Top of the strike zone, but missing high. 2-2. Sophomore out of Woodstock, Illinois. We go full. So after being down in the count 0-2, she works the count full. Golombesky waits. Stefanoni deals. Foul back to the screen, a healthy cut, and we do it again. Good eye. 4 straight off the plate and not by much. I mean, the last 2 in particular were close pitches to the plate, and Golombesky is a base runner. 1 out deep here in the home 5th. Runner going, or fakes the go. Nowhere to go, and there's a strike. Barlow got a hit her last time up. 1 for 2. And a line shot into left field, base hit. Megan Lee will be out there to collect it, and 2 have reached here in the home 5th. On a clean single to left for Barlow. Maggie Murphy will come up and pinch hit for Maddie Banks. Murphy's 5'9", a sophomore, out of Novi, Michigan.
Pitch running for the RedHawks, number 11, Logan Mueller. And pinch hitting for the RedHawks, number 19, Maggie Murphy.
We got a pitch runner. Logan Mueller is at first base. She'll take the place of Barlow. Mueller's 5'4", junior, out of Lebanon, just up the road. Handful of players on both teams with local ties. Mueller just up the road. Of course, we talked at length about Allie Cummins, who's from Westchester, played at Lakota West. And a ground ball to third. Steps on third for 1, and the play over to first not in time. Off the glove of the first baseman, Dudek. So Campbell gets the put out at third base as we just changed some hands. So Mueller's now up at second base. Murphy reaches as they knock Golombevsky off the base paths. They put Banks back in the ball game. So Banks, who was lifted for a pinch hitter in Murphy, now comes back into the ball game, and now we've got a conference. 7-2. So personnel changes deep into this ball game here in the home 5th.
The right fielder, Allie Cummins.
And Allie Cummins, who has already homered twice in this doubleheader, has a chance to send Miami home happy. Stefanoni deals, and off the plate outside for ball 1. We say send them home happy. A 3-run shot here would give Miami an 8-run cushion through 5, and that would be the run rule. (1-0) becomes 1-1. Holly Blasco waiting on deck. Runners at first and second. To the backstop, and the runners move up 90. I'm not sure if the catcher, Abigail Scheller, had a chance at that one, and that one's a wild pitch. Three and 1. We'll see if Cummins has the green light. Found the corner. Stefanoni with a nice pitch right at the knees, 3 and 2. So we go full. Outside, and we're loaded.
The first baseman, Holly Blaska.
So the second walk here in this second game for Cummins. Cummins came in to this afternoon with 38. 2 more here give her 40. And here's Blaska for a called strike. Blaska lined out her last time out back in the 4th inning. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Outside. We even up. Or beg your pardon. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to second. Right to Civic, who throws her out and leaves them loaded. We head to the 6th inning. Miami leads it 7-2 on Love and Honor Live. 7-2 as we head to the visiting 6th inning. Miami trying to complete the doubleheader sweep. They got a 3-0 shutout win in game number 1 behind Bree Pratt's 6-hitter. Cummins and Spade had big flies in that one, as well as game number 2 here. Part of a 4-home run attack here in game number 2. Ball 1 to Abby Scheller, who was lifted for a pinch hitter, or pinch runner, beg your pardon, in Otten, who came around to score, and now she's back at the plate. 2-0. The name of the game has been early runs for Miami. 4 crossed back in the first on the strength of 3 home runs. They got a single run back in the second. And a ground ball, the shortstop. Barlow with a nice throw to retire Abby Scheller. 1 out.
The shortstop, Jaden Bryant.
So after Miami had put 5 on the board through the first 2 innings, Akron got a single run in the 3rd. But a 2-run shot by Jenna Golembeski made it 7-1. Akron answered back in the 4th with a single run, and that's where we're at, 7-2. Just a bit outside. 1-0. Two and 0. It's nice to see the return of the Sunfield today. In the middle, at the early to middle parts of this second game, we had decidedly overcast skies. The skies opened up for a couple minutes, and a flare into right, covered by Cummins for the second out. Saw a little teeter-totter for a couple innings between overcast skies and sun, and now it looks like we've got Mother Nature deciding to shine down on us, hopefully for the rest of this one. Off the first base side, towards the first base dugout, foul, out of the reach of Blaska, strike 1. Something that should be noted is Depew really settled down after she got the big initial lead and gave up the first run. I think actually giving up the first run helped settle her into a more comfortable mindset, and she has cruised since then. Strike. This will be pitch number 77. 2 outs deep in this visiting 6th inning. Grounded to second. Parks will throw her out, and we go to the bottom half of the 6th. The score remains the same, 7-2 on Love and Honor Live. One more at bat we expect from Miami, up by 7-2. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Love and Honor Live, powered by Chatterbox Sports. Sean Spurlock's our producer this afternoon, and please, if you're on YouTube, give us a like, give us a follow, and we'll keep you up to date with Miami sports and whatever else comes down our way. Carly Spade has had a fantastic afternoon. As she leads off the home 6, she wanted another. She wanted the hat trick this afternoon. 0-1. As we await the 0-1, downstairs we even up. She homered a 2-run shot to cap off the first game scoring in the first inning to make it 3-0, and that score stood up. She had a solo home run in this ball game. She's had a stolen base in this doubleheader, fouled back, 1-2. And she had a fantastic catch of a line drive here a couple of innings ago. So she has done a little bit of everything. Downstairs, 2-2. Now, while I'm sure Miami and their faithful would be just happy with the win, I think an exclamation point here would just really cap things off. Line shot into right field and another hit. Carly Spade had a couple of hits in that first game. She picks up her second here in this contest.
The second baseman, Chloe Parks.
That's hit number 10 for Miami, and Chloe Parks will look to continue to move the line. Infield looking for 2. Runner fakes to go, and the swing through by Parks comes up empty, 0-1. Runner going, and this one off the glove of the catcher, and Spade is a base runner now up to second. While that pitch was a bit off the plate and outside, it was off the glove of the catcher, and I would imagine you call that a pass ball. In any case, Spade's up at second, and a flare in the left, and this one will find the gap. Spade will take third, and she will head to the plate. There'll be no throw, 8-2 on a double to left by Chloe Parks.
The catcher, Riley Coyne.
So Spade scores for the second time here in this ball game. Parks drives in her first run here of this second game, or of this afternoon, her 17th run batted in. Fastball outside, 1-0. Coyne hit a mammoth shot to straightaway center back in the first inning, a 2-run shot. She's 2 for 3 here this afternoon. Down and in, we even up. Or it's 2-0, beg your pardon, it's 2-0. Green light, got a piece of it, back to the screen, 2-1. Shelby Kunkel waiting on deck. If Miami can't get the run rule, I would imagine Depew comes out for 7th inning of work and tries to complete this one. Outside, 3-1. Grounded to short. And the throw across in time as Parks moves up to third.
The designated player, Shelby Kunkel.
So Parks at third, Kunkel now at the plate. Fly out, a pop-up, and a strikeout. 0 for 3. She's due. Strike one. And this will be pitch number 110 for Akron here in this ball game. Got a piece of it back to the screen, and just like that, Kunkel's down, 0-2. Kunkel to be followed by Golembeski, who is homered, and I think her shot today is the furthest one we saw. Back to the screen, we do it again. That one in particular was majestic. The one that Spade hit to right, off the clubhouse and right, that had a little bit more of a line drive trajectory to it. Golembeski was a high tower to left. Inside. And I'm not saying towers are better to look at than line drives. They all count the same. If they're gone, they're gone. But there are style points here in a game that has reached 8-2. And a fly ball down the left field line, foul territory, and mishandled by Lee just off her glove, and we'll do it again, 1-2. Fouled away. Again, we do it again at 1-2. So Kunkel's just out there spoiling pitches. Low, 2-2. Right now, Miami's in the driver's seat. Regardless of what they score here, up by 6. And back up the box, a base hit. 9-2. It glanced off Stefanoni's glove as it headed for the outfield. An RBI base hit for Kunkel, who's on the board with a base hit, 1 for 4 today. So Parks comes home. Kunkel gets her 6th RBI of the season, and now here's Golembeski, who we mentioned before, a towering home run to left, her 11th of the year. Below the knees, ball one. Akron pitching has now issued 114 pitches here in this contest. 1-0. Caught the outside corner. The riser hit the corner, 1-1. It's Kunkel at first. Fakes the go. Off the plate, 2-1. And a fly ball into center field. Grabbed by Tiffany Stevens. 2 out.
The shortstop, Adriana Barlow.
For full disclosure, I may have been the kiss of death on this one. So about 20 minutes ago, I looked to my left. Sean Spurlock, my producer today. I said, what are the odds of us getting out of here by 5 o'clock? And since then, we have slowed to a crawl. Called strike. One and one to Kunkel. Or was that, beg your pardon. It's Barlow, beg your pardon. Adriana Barlow. Barlow swings through 1-2. Two for three here in this second ball game. Runner going. And there's a third strike. As we head to the visiting seventh, 3 more outs to complete the doubleheader sweep for Miami as we come up here on the break, and we'll come back with the seventh on Love and Honor Live. Three more outs for a doubleheader sweep here in Oxford for the RedHawks. They are up 9-2 as we go to the visiting seventh. And Depew trying to close it out with a complete game. She faces 9-1-2, Madison Dudek, and then back to the top, Brooke Civic and Molly McChesney, 1-0. There's a strike right over the heart of the plate, 1-1. So unlike what we saw with Akron pitching here in this ball game, it's been an economy here, especially down the stretch for Depew. She's working on pitch number 79. And the riser stays outside, 2-1. Fly ball, Cummins, couple steps back, grabs it for the first out.
The second baseman, Brooke Civic.
Depew, as we had mentioned, 5'9", sophomore out of Richmond, Indiana. Home of Earlham University. 3-3 her record, looking for a 4th win, and this would be a confidence boost. She would get her 3rd complete game of the year. Strike one. Strike one to Brooke Civic, who drove in Akron's last run as she flares one foul off the left side. Just stuck the bat out there and looped it out there into foul territory. She's got a couple of hits in the ball game. She scored the first run for Akron of this afternoon in this doubleheader here in the second game, and then drove in the last one. Wide of the plate. 1-2. Both teams will get back after it again. A 1 o'clock first pitch tomorrow here at the softball stadium. Fouled out to the first base side. Now, with a 9-2 lead here in the visiting seventh and one out, you put the sweep, the doubleheader sweep in the books, and hopefully try to get the series sweep and make it a 15-game winning streak here in this series. It has been rather one-sided the last 5 years. The third, Spade, over to first. Now, did they call out foul? They did, and Civic will come back and get another crack. Two and two. Spade about 3 steps in from the third base bag. Backs up now a step. Miami bringing in another infielder. And the ground ball to second, safe. On a bang-bang play, Chloe Parks flip toss over to first. Not quite in time for the speedy Civic. And she gets her third hit of this ball game.
The right fielder, Molly McChesney.
8th hit of this contest for Akron. The hits have been good, right? They just not been able to stack them up, pile them up in rows, and get runs across. Chesney takes ball one. So Depew trying to close things out. Added a few MPHs on that one, but it's outside 2-0. I think she sees the end of the light at the end of the tunnel here, but is pressing a little bit to get there. Again, we see a 5th infielder as Cummins is in on the infield. There's a strike, 2-1. Well, that's part and parcel of what you have when you have a small ball type team. You're not thinking about the long ball, and if they're having to get balls through the infield, why not bring somebody else in? This one tapped in front of the plate, and it's an infield base hit. So consecutive hits by Civic and McChesney, and still one away, and now 2 players on the base paths.
Fielder, Megan Lee.
Megan Lee is 2 for 3. 9 base hits now for Akron. And now we have back again a normal defensive alignment as Cummins is back in the outfield. Strike one. As we have now just gone over the 2-hour mark here in this contest. Off the plate. Pitch looked like it had the corner. That had been the same corner that that home plate umpire Michael Young had been calling this afternoon, but he calls it for a ball. 1-1. DeSpade, whose only play is the first. And the runners move up. So 5-3 on the force play. Civic moves up to third. McChesney moves up to second. And Alexis Campbell represents the final out of this ball game. Low, ball one. Campbell reached on a fielder's choice back in the third. Down and in. Well, you're not thinking about the run rule at this point. Obviously, we're in the seventh inning. You got a 7-run cushion, throw strikes. And I think that's the message that's being exhorted right now. 2-0. And there's a strike. Right over the heart of the plate, so says Michael Young, the home plate umpire, 2-1. Infield playing straight up. And a ground ball through the hole, base hit, runs, crosses, and it's 9-3. So Civic scores for the second time here this afternoon as Campbell drives in her first run of the day. A clean base hit. Akron now has 10 base hits. Campbell drives in her 31st run of the year. Chesney's at third. Campbell, who just drove in the last, runs at first. So runners on the corners. And DeVoe's at the plate. Strike one. One for three, a hit back in the second. The riser rides away, 1-1. Did that find the corner? Yes, it did. And now we're down to a final strike. One and two the count. DePue will have to throw another pitch. DeVoe survives, fouls this one off. Should DeVoe reach, it'll be Abby Scheller. 1 and 2 the count. DePue grounds down to third. And appropriate for Spade to throw out and get the win. 9-3 the final. So DePue gets a complete game under her belt as she scattered 10 hits, gave up 3 runs, but with such a big cushion, especially 4 in the first, she had plenty to spare, and she gets the win here this afternoon as she improves her own record to 4-3. Haley Croyle, who had been the staff ace coming on in, a fine .237 earned run average, got rocked in this ballgame, lasted only an out deep in the third inning before she was relieved. She takes the loss, and she falls to 11-7. Nine runs on 12 base hits, 1 error, and 8 left on for victorious Miami as they improved their record to 26-16, 13-6 in the MAC.
The series finale against Akron. First pitch tomorrow is slated for 1
And
o'clock.
Akron falls to a record of 25-19, 13-9 in the MAC.
Thank you for your attendance
A quick
today.
recap before we head on out, as this game, by the way, took 2 hours and 5 minutes to finish up here this afternoon. Home runs, as we were known to have a trademark here in this ball game. That came true back in the first once more. We saw signature hits, home runs by Allie Cummins and a 2-run shot by Carly Spade in the first game, and that stood up for a 3-0 win. Again, Cummins with a home run to lead off the ball game to make it 1-0 Miami. Then an out later, it was Carly Spade who got a solo shot to right to make it 2-0. A hit by pitch on Chloe Parks put Riley Coyne to the plate. She had a 2-run shot to straightaway center, 4-0 to cap off the scoring in the first. Miami got a single run in the second inning as Allie Cummins, who walked, came around eventually to score on a double by Holly Blaska, 5-0. And then it was Akron putting across a run in the third. It was then a 2-run shot in the bottom of the frame by Jenna Golembeski, her 11th of the year, to make it 7-1. And the route was on from that point on. Miami put across 2 runs in the home sixth, and then Akron got runs in the fourth and the 7th inning, and that's your 9-3 ball game score. Tomorrow, somebody will be back on the air. It won't be me, but I was glad to be with you, and neither Sean Spurlock as well. But we'll be back on here with the first pitch tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and we'll see if Miami can complete the sweep once more. Again, the final here in this ball game, Miami a winner in a game that took 2 hours and 5 minutes, 9-3, 9 runs on 12 hits, 1 error for Miami. Akron, 3 runs on 10 base hits, no errors. The win to Depew and the loss to Croyle. Miami looking for the sweep tomorrow at 1 o'clock. For Sean Spurlock, I'm Geoff Kim. We bid you good night from Oxford.